I think ultimately, no one will really remember New York's Alright, but the one thing that everyone will always remember is Firework Kid. I don't know his name, but like he is what represents New York's Alright, I guess. My name is Adam Oestreich.
My name is Dan Oestreich.
Not pictured. People who've helped us out in the past are Reed Dunlea, Mike Hillerson, and Marc Grillo.
What the fuck are these questions?
I saw Kid Rock and that was it. I feel like the desire between all of us was to put New York out there. We are all very much in love with our own scene. So it was a way to sort of like highlight that and show it to everyone else. Everyone would admit to the fact that like we were also seeing if it's something that we could actually pull off.
You know, like the first year, just really not knowing shit, like can we do a show at this place, have it finished, get to the other one, make everything work, and it went great. People wanted to be involved and it made it feel more like a larger community and scene effort.
You're playing tonight with Stretcher.
Kid Rock has his own beer. What do you think the chances are of him and the beer sponsoring the fest?
I'm like anti-vice, anti-corporate sponsorship, all of those things, but it's the last year, it's the last chance to like rake it in.
Does Kid Rock have his own brand of cocaine? Because maybe that could sponsor the fest.
That's certainly more appropriate. I think ways in which it's actually more difficult this year is the fact that there's less enthusiasm. I mean, I'm like still enthusiastic and I'm putting like all of my all into it, but I like don't have that green sort of enthusiasm that came with the first year.
How many times has the fest gotten you laid?
That would be 0. I've been in a committed relationship the entire time the fest has been ongoing. The way the lineup turned out this year is just like the best I think I can make it. As I joke all the time, is unless Gauze wants to play next year, I'm not doing it again, and please play.
Poisson Rouge is not a punk venue, but they're always excited to have us back. Acheron, I work here, so I'm always very excited that it's involved in the fest.
Over the last 3 years, it's grown from just being like the 3 dates of the fest to now being this year there's like 2 weeks of shows.
It is the first year that there won't be a show at ABC No Rio, which is the DIY punk venue in New York, and
we're not cool enough for ABC No Rio, unfortunately. And I know Dano's got more like eggs in that basket. I don't give a fuck.
First year, the show at ABC with Shit Una Bestia.
Dryptomania.
That was such a slick show. Last year, Inmates played at ABC. Like, that was fucking crazy. So in that regard, it's disappointing, but at the same time, that show is now happening at Palisades, which is a newer DIY space.
What band would I want to play the fest if it didn't count as a reunion band? Kalishnikov, Paraf when they got synths.
Prompted from Japan.
Gizm. I wouldn't actually want Gizm to play because that would be really scary.
I was like a few years too young to ever get to see Death Threat.
One of our employees is going to Japan in June, and we're sending him there to try and petition them to come here.
New York's Alright. Hank Wood and the Hammerheads were really good.
Shit set at ABC was incredible. Inferno was sick. You know,
Hank and the Hammerheads, they could have played the worst set ever no matter what, and people are just going to go insane, but they were also like really good.
My boy Chris, keyboard player in GMK, found like this big dollhouse out front of the fucking venue, and he brought it in and threw it into the crowd when they played Get Out of My House. I mean, I jumped off stage and stomped on a bunch of people's faces.
I do remember standing on stage watching shit and seeing Ben Trogan get up, and that stage is very tall.
That was scary.
And he ran right past me and dove and
Into
flipped,
no one.
and I just saw him disappear into darkness. I was just like, not good. And he didn't get up. I was like, oh my God, like Ben is dead. I saw Ben thrown over someone's shoulder, running to the main room, just like, oh, like he literally is dead. And he was okay.
I was so fucking blotto the first time Warhead played, I didn't even realize Warhead was playing.
Well, my weirdest memory, fortunately, did not happen here.
I will say this because it has been published of my hatred of this band.
Oh, Lumpy and the Dumpers.
Lumpy and the Dumpers show last year.
I heard it was an excellent set.
Every single show, every single year, without fail, you'll be sitting there just waiting outside, like, I wonder when it's going to start. And then you'll just see a mob of kids literally running around the corner. Up till this year, there were no pre-sale.
I remember pulling up here with the back line, like, all right, great, boom, here. And there was a cop car right in front of me.
People would just be running from the subway to get here, just like a stampede.
We ended up having to move the show to 538 Johnson, a couple blocks from here. Packed everything up, got over there, show started within like 20 minutes. And I went back in after Lumpy and the Dumpers. And literally, like, everything I own is covered in green slime. And I see some people I know rolling around, some of them naked. I think I just had like a cathartic moment of freaking the fuck out. People have told me that I just stood there like leaning against the wall berating these people.
And a bunch of people were just watching and laughing at you just yell at these naked kids, accusing them of having just gotten into punk through YouTube.
That they learned about punk on YouTube and that they were posers. They got the last word because they did take a full-page ad out in MRR.
Dude, this MRR ad comes out and boom, Lumpy and the Dumpers destroyed you.
It's a full page. And in quotes at the top, it said, "You're not punks, you're posers, Dan-O."
And I think they spent all of the money they got from New York's Alright to pay for that ad.
That ad is framed in my bathroom.
Alex Jones, his band played the first and second year.
My band made your shit.
I owe everything to his band.
You might recognize Alex from singing a little song called "Dancing with Myself."
Yeah, they wouldn't fucking let us play last year for God knows what reason. We'd already been a band for a year by then. But Adam finally got his head screwed on straight, put us on New York's Alright on the best fucking show of the night. This was the fucking rock and roll show of the century, and it was fantastic.
During Dai's set, a certain long-haired metal guy got tossed up on stage and stood up and flipped his hair back.
Yeah, he was doing his hair and he was just like, oh hey, the song was over, right?
There was no band, so I walked up and pushed him off the stage because that's what someone should do.
We turned down a New York Times interview because we were too punk the first year that the fest happened. Now I have nothing to show my father that I'm not a true failure in life, but I can tell him that something I did was on cable TV. And it's Tosh.0, and it was the Firework Kid.
Yeah. On a cool evening in beautiful Brooklyn. Yeah. You know what? New York's all right.
Next question. Am I good at karate? Absolutely.
Yeah. What can you say?
New York's all right if you like fun.
Comprehensively, New York is all right.
Real all right.
Bring the wasteland a little closer. Let the bombs fall. Let the nukes drop. Let the mutants rule.
Yeah!